Alright, so I'm back from my first of many trips to GameStop this week, and of course I picked up the first of my pre-orders, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Deluxe Edition on the Xbox Series X. But they did have some new stuff, and I'm glad I went in there because they worked me a pretty solid deal. And then here's the fun thing. So, I also saw this in the counter, and it didn't have a price on it. And my thought is, it's a third party, but if it works, I have two first parties, and I can trade my first party in to GameStop and use this as my backup controller. And when I asked them, okay, how much do you want for it? They just gave it to me for free. A third party PS3 controller. So I haven't gone game hunting at Walmart in a very long time, mostly because they typically don't have anything of note. But supposedly, they have some games on clearance now. And supposedly, my Walmart might have at least one of them. So, let's see what happens. So once again, Walmart disappoints. I went in with a laundry list of games that I saw online were available for pretty low prices. Most were like $4. And I did find several of them, but when, of course, I went to ring them up, they rung up as the regular prices and not $4. Sad day, but I did find one game that I ended up picking up because it rang up for the price it was advertised as. And like, I don't know, it looks interesting. I figured for $10, it's worth picking up. World of Final Fantasy Maxima on the Xbox One. Brand new sealed Final Fantasy game. Looks interesting. It looks kind of like Pokemon, sort of, but chibi Final Fantasy. I don't really know. It looks interesting. So I figured, you know what? For $9, it was like $9.88. Might as well grab it. So another game to add to the collection. But now I'm going to head to my last time at GameStop to pick up 2 new games. Let's go. Last GameStop stop of the week. And I'm here to pick up 2 games. Let's see what I get. Okay, so that was an interesting situation. So I went to GameStop. I traded in WWE 2K17, which surprisingly had some trade-in value. And I traded in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. And the main reason why I did that is because they had a Xbox Series copy of Tony Hawk on clearance for $30. So I figured, well, for that price, I might as well trade in my existing one and then upgrade it to the next-gen version so I can play the next-gen version. Turns out that was a mistake. So apparently, because this GameStop has already had their management change over the past couple months entirely, and the previous regime messed up on several tags and a few other things. So they mislabeled it. So it was supposed to be the Xbox One version that was on clearance, not the Series X version. So that one, it would have been like $18 after the trade-ins to pick up the Series X version. I still could have done it because I have $20 in credit. I don't want to pay $50 for it. I just don't. So even with promos and credit and all that, I feel that game eventually is going to go down in price. And when it does, then I'll pick it up. I did still trade it in, even though I probably should have just kept it, but whatever. It is what it is. So that game's gone. I do know where there is another copy I can get for $15, so worst comes to worst, I'll go pick that up. I did pick up one game, though. Mario Party Superstars. Honestly, this is one of the games I am the most excited about this year. It is classic Mario Party boards, classic Mario Party mini games, kind of like a best of Mario Party on the Switch, using the Super Mario Party engine. I'm very excited to play this. I already have, I think, 3 different instances of where people and I are going to play it. Of course, I'm also going to play it over the holidays with my siblings. I can't wait to play this. I love Mario Party. It's a great series, and this one looks superb, so I'm excited to play it. So, I ended up only coming away with Mario Party. I mean, technically I came away with 2 games because I got the World of Final Fantasy from Walmart. But I only came away with 2 games. But the nice thing is I still have $57 in credit now, because I used a $15 coupon on Mario Party, so it gave me back $15 in credit. Plus I had, I think it was $18 in credit from 2 games I traded in. So I have quite a bit of credit. It's enough to full pay one of my pre-orders this month, so I'm probably going to use it for that, and then we'll see where I put the rest. But yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I have enough to full pay one of my pre-orders, and I have a lot of pre-orders this month, so that's good. It's always nice to build up some credit. Anyway, back to my room for the final recap. Alright, so it is time for a recap for everything that I picked up this week, and this was actually a pretty productive week, honestly. Ended up picking up 4 essentially new release games. One of them came out last month, or 2 months ago, I guess, but still, like, 4 very new games, 3 of which came out this week from Gamestop, and all I need to do is pick up some stuff at pawn shops. That's how you do it, man. If you have a bunch of new release games that you want to pick up when they come out, then go to places like pawn shops, thrift shops, flea markets, garage sales. Find a bunch of games that GameStop will take for a nice profit, pay a small amount, flip them over there, and then use that credit to buy the stuff you want. That's how I do it. It's pretty great. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. So our first stop of the week was Cash America, and they had some decent games in there. I only ended up picking up 1 just because I think the other game I was looking at was Grand Theft Auto, and they wanted way more than it was worth in trading credits. I'm like, yeah, I'll let you keep that, and I'll just pick up this one because it's a 360 game that I don't have in my collection, and I've never played any of the games in the series. I'm excited to do so. I believe it's complete. Kind of missing like the cover of the manual, but it's mostly complete. We have Prototype 2 on the Xbox 360. Looks fun. I know there is a remaster out there. I'd like to find that eventually, but I'll be happy to have the 360 original. I just need the first one, and then I've got both the Prototype games. I paid $3 for this, and it is worth $6. Next up, we went to Value Pawn. This was the Value Pawn over by Cash America. And I picked up 2 games, and both of them I traded in, so I don't have them anymore, obviously, but I got some good trading credit for them. So first off was Need for Speed Heat on the Xbox One. Both of these games I ended up getting for $5 a piece because they just charged me 10, and that's it, which is pretty reasonable. One of them I think is because there's one game that didn't have a price on it, so the guy was like, yeah, I'm just going to charge you like $1 for it. So I'm going to mark it as I paid 5 each. That's fair, even though technically I paid 9 for one and $1 for the other. Yeah, Need for Speed Heat, $5 trade-in, and it is worth $9.10. So I did pretty well on that one. And then an old mainstay that you always want to look out for if you can find it for cheap. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PS4, specifically the PS4 version, has some decent trade-in value. So if you can find the PS4 version of that for cheap, pick it up. It's definitely worth picking up for trade. Paid $5 for that, and it was worth $13. So got $20 right off the bat in trading credit with those 2 games. Next up, I went to the Value Pawn on my way home from work, and I picked up 2 more games. This one I paid up a little bit and paid $20, but I got some decent credit for it. The first game was the Lego Harry Potter collection on the Switch. That one I didn't do well, really. I just kind of went on a whim because it was a Switch game and it was priced low. I paid 10, it was only worth $10.40, so I gained 40 cents in trade-in credit, but you know, it's still credit that I didn't expect to have before, so I'll take it. And hey, now GameStop has another copy of Lego Harry Potter on the Switch, so win-win, I guess. The other one, which did better than I expected, was Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS4. Good complete copy. I paid $10 for it, and originally it looked like it was only going for like 12. I ended up getting $15.60 for it in trading credit, so another solid pickup. Got an extra $5 out of that one, so that kind of made up for the only 40 cents they got from the other game. So those 2 were not my strongest pickups, but I mean, I got a little bit of extra trading credit, so it's all good, baby, all good. All right, next we went to that same Value Pawn, and I picked up a handful of games, and this is where I got a lot of my trading credit that I used to pick up this stuff. The big purchase, of course, was Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. This one was a bit of a gamble. I knew it was going to be worth a decent amount of credit, and I was correct. Now, one thing I thought that was interesting is when I traded it into GameStop, at one point it was worth like 37 in trading credit. Now, I paid 25 for it initially, but after I applied a different promo, so I guess there was some weird promo going on with that game specifically, that caused it to be really expensive for trade-in. Ended up getting a little bit less. I got 32 because I traded it towards Mario Party, but that's okay. Still, you know, $7 bonus, pretty solid. Then I got 5 disc-only games, and I mostly picked these up because I thought, well, maybe some of them I can flip for cheap. No, none of them had any value in terms of GameStop trade-in, which is unfortunate, but you know, you live and you learn, and also it's not that big of a deal. I paid $1 for each of these. One of them actually adding to my collection. So we picked up Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on the PS4. That one I just thought, it's a Call of Duty game, it's loose disc, like Ghosts had some value, so I figured this one might have a little. GameStop doesn't take the PS4 copy of Infinite Warfare. No idea why, but they don't. So paid $1 for that, and it is worth $3. So yeah, not a huge value, but you know, it is what it is. Next up we have Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS3. Now again, I thought, well, maybe the PS3 copy might have a little bit of value. Since the PS4 copy has a decent amount of value, they don't take it. So, you know, now I have a PS3 copy to go with my Xbox 360 copy of it. So I'll probably just lot those together and do like a mixed disc lot on eBay at some point. But that one I paid $1 for, and it is also worth $3. Next up we have Battlefield Bad Company 2 on the Xbox 360. Again, another one that I already own. I thought, it's a Battlefield game on the 360. It's the last Bad Company game. Maybe it has some value. Nope, it does not, but that's okay. Paid $1, that one is worth $4. WWE 2K14. This one I thought had some value, and I was correct. Not for trade-in, but that's okay. Hopefully I can sell it for the price I'm asking for. It was a disc-only copy on the PS3. Paid $1. That one's worth $15, even in loose disc form. So hopefully that will sell, because that will pay for the entire lot of 5 loose disc games that I kind of failed on, and then some. So we'll see. But yeah, don't sleep on WWE games, because even the older ones actually have some value, which I also found out when I went to GameStop earlier today. And then the last one is Chaotic Shadow Warrior on the PS3. I saw that game in there for a while as a loose disc game. I never picked it up. I figured, you know what, might as well just get 5 and make it even $5. So I picked that up to add to the collection. I paid $1. It is worth $6. So Mario Kart was decent value. The disc-only games kind of failed, but if I'm able to sell WWE 2K14, that'll make up for a good chunk of it. So we'll see what happens. Next, I went to Simple Pawn, and they did me right, man. Like, I was really impressed when I went to Simple Pawn. Usually they have their games kind of flat priced, and that's fine with me, because usually if you can find something, you can get good prices. This time, I think they knew that they didn't have a whole lot of games, but that's okay, because they worked a really nice deal for me, which I'm pretty excited about. I picked up a grand total of 4 games and an accessory from this pawn shop, and did pretty darn well with it. All for $7. Originally, they quoted me having to pay $2 a game, and then the accessory I asked, it didn't have a price on it, and they just threw it in, so I got it for free, which is pretty beautiful. So of the games, I've traded in 3 of them, and I kept 1. So the 3 I traded in were Rayman Legends on the PS4. I have that game digitally on Xbox. I thought about keeping it because that's a pretty good price for a pretty solid game, but again, I have it digitally. If it was on Xbox, I probably would have kept it. I paid $2 for that, and it was worth $6.50 in trade-in, so solid bump there. Then The Last of Us Remastered, again, a game I've traded in many times. It's not worth a ton, but when you're only paying $2, anything is worth it. Paid $2, and that one was worth $6.50 in trade-in. Solid bump there. GTA 4, the complete edition on the PS3. Another one I thought about keeping, just because I have GTA 4, but I don't have the complete edition that includes the 2 standalone expansions. But I don't think I'm going to play it on PS3, so I was willing to let it go. I paid $2 for that, and it was worth $3.90. And then the last game is the one that I kept, and of all of them, you'll think I'm nuts that I kept this one. But I'm like, you know, I think it was a good deal. It's a game I don't have. Plus, I'm also a sucker for theme park games. Wonder World Amusement Park on the Wii. This looks like a collection of mini games, kind of like Wii Sports on the Wii. It's not getting great reviews, but it's a Wii shovelware game. It's fine. It looked good. It's complete. It's in good shape. Paid $1 for this one because one game rang up as $1, and they're like, I'm just gonna leave that. So I'm like, okay. So I made $1 for this, and it is worth $5. So it doesn't have a lot of value, but that's okay. Nice little addition to the collection. And then this was kind of the big ticket item. This third-party PS3 controller. Now, as you see, there's no Sony logo, no PlayStation logo on the middle jewel, but it is a DualShock, essentially, PS3 controller. I tested it. It works great. Now, Gamestop will not take this in trade-in because it is a third-party controller. But I tested it and it works great. So my thought process is, well, if Gamestop won't take it, this will become my new Player 2 controller because I already have a blue DualShock 3 on the PS3. That's my controller. So I'll keep this one as the backup controller and trade in my other first-party controller to GameStop. And again, I paid nothing for this. This was a free throw-in from Simple Pawn. And I was able to get $14.30 in trading credit for my PS3 controller. So even though this technically, I don't know if this particular controller has any value, but I'm gonna say it's $14.30 because I traded in the other one. So pretty nice score. All right, and then last we went to La Familia for the pawn shop pickups. La Familia is one of those places where sometimes I score and sometimes they're just kind of overpriced. They individually price all their games. They are typically willing to knock off a couple bucks or two from their piles, which is nice, but sometimes it's just not worth the amount of money that they ask. So I did pick up a handful of games and I did pretty well for the most part. I ended up keeping 2 of them and trading in the rest. So the first game I picked up was Tekken 7 on the PS4. I did think about keeping this one, but again, if I'm gonna pick it up, I'd rather get it on Xbox because that's my primary system. So I traded it in. I didn't get a ton of extra credit for it, but I did okay. Paid $7.50 out of pocket for it, and it was worth $7.80. So a little bit of bonus, it's okay. They kind of just gave me a group number rather than, like, they did individually price them, but they're all kind of weird numbers. So I just kind of rounded to the closest, I guess, to the value. So that one paid $7.50, worth $7.80. Not a huge bump, but you know, it's something. Next one is a PS4 game that I did keep, and that is Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. So I have Darksiders 1 on Xbox One, the remaster, and now I have Darksiders 2 remastered, and I have Darksiders 3 on digital. So I have all 3 Darksiders games playable on this gen, which is pretty great. And I have Darksiders 2 on 360. So paid $7.50 for this one. It was worth $12. GameStop only took it for like $2 in trading credits. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna keep it. Might as well add it to the collection. And if I ever get the Xbox One version, then I'll find something to do with it. But I figure it's a good pickup. Next one was Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the PS3. Now, if you don't already know, Black Ops 2 is always worth picking up. On the 360, it's worth a lot. It's worth like $13 in trading credit at GameStop. PS3, it's worth less, but it's still worth a decent amount, especially because it's a PS3 game, so you can typically pick it up for cheap from a lot of places. It's worth $7.70 in trade-in, but there's kind of a hack for you. If you happen to have a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one, on the same system, you can bundle the 2 together and trade it in as a double pack, even if you don't have the case for it. That's what I did, because Black Ops 2 was loose, and then my Black Ops 1 had its case, so I essentially got an extra PS3 case out of this as well as the cover art for those 2 games. But I combined the 2 and made it the double pack and got $13 in credit. And that's pretty good considering, like, the original copy of Black Ops that I have, it's not going to help me with my project that I'm working on in the future, which is I'm going to play every Call of Duty game until I kill an enemy, like I did my Doom video. But I need all Xbox versions for that because I can't stream from my PS3. So I have to get an Xbox copy of Black Ops anyway. So I'm like, let's just combine those 2 and get some decent credit. So $13, and I paid $7 for that. So not bad, not bad. This one was a big score. So for some reason, Call of Duty, even though it was a PS3 game, was priced a little bit higher than everything else. I think it's because they kind of knew what they had. Then they had 2 PS3 games that were priced at $4 originally, and they dropped them down to $3 each, which is pretty solid. The first one was Sonic Generations on the PS3, and this one I didn't realize had good trade-in value, but it actually did. I paid $3 out of pocket for it, and it was worth $9.10 in trading credit. So pretty solid. I mean, I tripled my money on that. And that's a game, yeah, I'd like to own it. I think I have it on the Xbox 360 already, digitally, so I don't need a physical copy, but, you know, I figure it's worth the trade-in. And then this one is a game that's pretty uncommon. I don't see it very often, and I thought about trading in it. It's not worth a lot, so I figured I'm going to keep it because I think it'd be a fun game to try. Street Fighter Cross Tekken on the PS3. This one was $3 as well. And this one is worth $18, so this actually has some decent value on the reselling market. Last game I picked up that wasn't at GameStop was at Walmart earlier today, and that was World of Final Fantasy Maxima on the Xbox One. Don't know much about this. It looks interesting. I've seen this on sale on Walmart's website for a long time. It was priced at like $9.80. So I found a copy in store. I'm like, you know what? Might as well. So paid a little bit under 10. It was like $9.80, and this is worth $12. So not bad. So as you can tell, I traded in a lot of games to GameStop. What did I get with all that credit? Some good stuff. So the first trip to GameStop, and I made a grand total of 4 trips to GameStop this week, was I traded in a whole bunch of those games, and while I was looking around the store, I'm like, you know, I kind of want to pick up a game today. And I found this on the shelf on as a pre-owned game, and it was on sale. So it was already at a pretty good price, and I had a coupon, plus I had trading credit. So I didn't pay a dime out of pocket for it, and it's a game I've been wanting. Madden 22 on the Xbox Series X. This is the next-gen version, it's the next-gen version. This is a $7 game normally, and next level edition. I only paid $30, and that's using a reward plus trading credit, and it's worth $40. I had to get it mostly because I do enjoy Madden, even though yes, it's pretty much the same game every year. This is also the first time I've had a player from my team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on the cover of Madden. Of course, it's Tom Brady, right next to Patrick Mahomes, who's my favorite player currently in NFL. So I had to get this. $30, that's a great deal for a $70 game. So solid pickup there. Haven't started Madden yet. I will play a season probably in the not too distant future, but pretty happy with it. Next one, and this game I have played a pretty extensive amount and absolutely love it. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Cosmic Deluxe Edition on the Xbox Series X. This game is awesome. If you have not tried it yet, it is a single player only action adventure game where you play as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Specifically, you are Star-Lord. You can issue commands to the Guardians during combat. You can break up fights, get them all focused on the same task. It's funny, it's action-packed, it feels exactly like you want a Guardians of the Galaxy game to be. Please buy this game if you have not already done it. If you're anywhere interested in single-player action games or interested in good quality Marvel games, pick this up. Definitely worth it. This is the special edition. It was an $80 game that I paid $80 in trading credit for, so again, not a dime out of pocket besides what I bought at pawn shops. Pretty happy with that. And what's crazy is when you look at the total amount of money that I spent, this game is worth almost all of that. And that's just one of the 4 new release games I picked up this week from GameStop. Now the next one, I wasn't originally planning on picking up, but I had a bunch of games to trade in and I wanted to get the most in credit out of them. And this was available. It looks fun. I tried a little bit of it. It is fun. I got a 30% bonus in trading credit, plus the big deal winner for this is I'm going to be getting $10 in game coin from GameStop, which is essentially another $10 reward in the future, and I could definitely use that on some of the stuff that's coming out later on in November. Riders Republic on the Xbox Series X. It's pretty fun. It's an extreme sports game, multiplayer game, lots of racing, lots of exploration. It's fun. I've enjoyed what I've played of it. I didn't play a whole lot of it, but I've enjoyed what I've played of it. $60 game, worth $60. Paid all in trading credit. And then the last game that I picked up this week, which I just picked up, and I'm very excited to play, is Mario Party Superstars on the Nintendo Switch. This is a new Mario Party that features old Mario Party stuff. 5 maps from the N64 era Mario Party, as well as a whole bunch of mini games from all the past Mario Parties,
I'm so excited for this. I love Mario Party games. I love getting together and playing them as a group. And this is going to be a lot of fun to play with my friends as well as my family when I go to St. Pete for the holidays. So I'm very excited to play more of this $60 game, all paid for with trading credit. So there we go, a pretty eventful week, honestly. I got a lot of brand new release games for trading credit. And what's even better, I still have almost $60 in trading credit that I haven't used. So more than likely, I'm going to put that towards one of the games or multiple games that I have coming out in November, because I have quite a few that I'm excited to pick up in November. So I'm going to put that towards that. So that's another game that I paid off, essentially. So yeah, if you want new games, this is the best way to do it. Trade them in. Go to GameStop. Find games for cheap at pawn shops, thrift shops, you name it. Trade them in the GameStop for a profit. Use that credit to pick up new games. It's definitely possible. Thank you for watching this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. If you want to see me unbox this bad boy, the video has been out probably for a while after this episode airs. But it's on the channel under our new Unboxing Gaming Edition series. I've done unboxings on my main channel for a while now, but I figured since I have this gaming channel now and a lot of it is game hunting, might as well unbox special editions of games and consoles and you name it on this channel. So if you want to see me unbox this and see what it contains, check it out elsewhere on the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week on the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye bye.